Hari Om. Would anybody like to chant the Dhyana Shloka? Please go ahead, Karpagam, Bhagini. I think you are self-muted.
हरि ओम.
Hari.
पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम्. नमोऽस्तु ते व्यासविशालबुद्धे पुल्लारविन्दाय च पत्रनेत्र येन त्वया भारततैलपूर्णः प्रज्वालितो ज्ञानमयप्रदीपः प्रपन्नपारिजाताय स्तोत्रवेत्रैकपाणये ज्ञानमुद्राय कृष्णाय गीतामृतदुहे नमः. सर्वोपनिषदो गावः दोग्धा गोपालनन्दनः पार्थो वत्सत्सुधीर्भोक्ता दुग्धं गीतामृतं महत्. वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्. भीष्मद्रोणतटा जयन्द्रतजला गान्धारनीलोत्पला शल्याग्राहवती कृपेण वहनी कर्णेन वेलाकुला अश्वत्थामा विकर्णघोरमकरा दुर्योधनावर्तिनी सोत्तीर्णा खलु पाण्डवैरणनदी कैवर्तकः केशवः पाराशर्यवचः सरोजममलं गीतार्थगन्धोत्कटं नानाख्यानककेसरं हरिकथा सम्बोधना बोधितं लोके सज्जनषट्पदैरहरहः पेपीयमानं मुदा भूयात् भारतपङ्कजं कलिमल प्रध्वंसि न श्रेयसे. मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवम्. यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्र रुद्रमरुतः स्तुवन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः यस्यान्तं न विदुःसुरासुरगणाः देवाय तस्मै नमः. श्रीहरे नमः. हरि ओम.
Dhanyavada. Hari Om. स्थाने हृषीकेश तव प्रकीर्त्या जगत्प्रहृष्यत्यनुरज्यते च रक्षांसि भीतानि दिशो द्रवन्ति सर्वे नमस्यन्ति च सिद्धसङ्गाः कस्माच्च तेन नमरन्महात्मन् गरीयसे ब्रह्मणोऽप्यादिकर्त्रे अनन्तदेवेश जगन्निवास त्वमक्षरं सदसत्तत्परं यत् त्वमादिदेवः पुरुषः पुराणः त्वमस्य विश्वस्य परं निधानम् वेत्तासि वेद्यं च परं च धाम त्वया ततं विश्वमनन्तरूप वायुर्यमोऽग्निर्वरुणः शशाङ्कः प्रजापतिस्त्वं प्रपितामहश्च नमो नमस्तेऽस्तु सहस्रकृत्वः पुनश्च भूयोऽपि नमो नमस्ते नमः पुरस्तादत पृष्ठतस्ते नमोऽस्तु ते सर्वत एव सर्व अनन्तवीर्यामितविक्रमस्त्वं सर्वं समाप्नोषि ततोऽसि सर्व सखेति मत्वा प्रजभञ्यदुक्तं हे कृष्ण हे यादव हे सखेति अजानता महिमानं तवेदं मया प्रमादात् प्रणयेन वापि यच्चावः सार्थमसत्कृतोऽसि विहारशय्यासनभोजनेषु एकोतवाप्यच्युत तत्समक्षं तच्छामये त्वामहमप्रमेयम् पितासि लोकस्य चराचरस्य त्वमस्य पूज्यश्च गुरुर्गरीयान् न त्वत्समोऽस्त्यभ्यधिकः कुतोऽन्यः लोकत्रयेऽप्यप्रतिमप्रभाव तस्मात् प्रणम्य प्रणिधाय कायं प्रसादये त्वामहमीश मीड्यम् पितेव पुत्रस्य सखेव सख्युः प्रियः प्रियायार्हसि देव सोढुम् We'll just give it a couple of minutes and start. Hari Om. Looks like we have Swamini here in the group. Namaste, Swamini. If you'd like to introduce yourself, you may go ahead. I have unmuted you. Otherwise, it's fine.
Namo Namaha, Swamini here.
Yeah.
Namaste
Very nice.
to everyone. Yeah, so my name is Swamini Sumatmananda.
Okay.
And I'm a Shishya of Pujya Swami Dayananda Saraswati, who is the founder of Arsha Vidya Gurukulams.
Oh.
And I'm right now in Secunderabad and sharing the teachings on Bhagavad Gita, Upanishads, and a little bit of Sanskritam also.
Oh, very nice, Swamini. I'm honored to have you here. Dhanyavada.
Nice to hear your voice and to be part of the session. Thank you.
Thank you. सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् ॐ परं वरिष्ठं ब्रह्मिष्ठं परमानन्दरूपिणम् परमार्थानन्दयतिं सद्गुरुं प्रणतोऽस्म्यहम्. Okay. Last week we actually saw Arjuna experiencing the Vishwarupa Ishvara, right? And we also saw that he had gone through 3 different types of emotional states, right? So he started off with Vismayaha, and then that is wonderment, and then the second was that of fear, and then the third one of that of bhakti, right? So bhakti part we saw actually from verse 36 up to the portion that we completed last week, right? And then even though Arjuna went through all these 3 emotions, the prominent one unfortunately happens to be that of fear, because Arjuna is not totally mature. He had not diluted his ahankara and mamakara. We saw that, right? So therefore what happens is he cannot imagine the death of some of the near and dear ones in the war. Therefore he says, I would not like to continue to see the Vishwarupam, right? No doubt I only asked for it, but I think I have had enough. I'm not able to take it, right? So you should withdraw the Vishwarupam, and withdrawing the Vishwarupam, we must remember, very, very important point, is not the physical withdrawing of the Vishwarupam, because if Ishvara withdraws Vishwarupam, then what does that mean? We are then in Pralayam, right? So this is just the Divya Chakshu's withdrawal, which Krishna had blessed Arjuna with, right? So that Arjuna will go back to his ahankara, mamakara world, and therefore he will not be able to appreciate the totality. And that is what Arjuna is asking for, okay? So in the last class, we were seeing verse 45, right? Adrishtapurvam Rishitoshmi Drishva, right? Rishitosmi, that I had a rare opportunity to experience Vishwarupam, which is not easily available for others. That I experienced. I am very happy, and I can tell the people I had a very rare sight. But at the same time, I don't want to continue with this, because Bhayenacha Pravyatitam, it's like wearing, you know, a heavy, when these customers or come to our offices, or we go for weddings, right? We are dressed in our finery with imagine in Chennai in summer, we dressed in all this extraordinary coat, suit and everything, right? And then outside people say, oh, you look very good in this formal dress, etc. But inside you are burning. So the external appearance is happy, but the condition is internally burning. So similarly, here also others may congratulate me saying I had Vishwarupa Darshana, but internally I am burning. So Arjuna's condition is like that only. So Adrishta Purvam Drishtva Rishida Asmi, but Bhayenacha me mana pravyatitam. My mind is shivering, trembling with fear, right? And the fear overpowers me. Therefore, Tadeva me Rupam Darshaya. I would like to see the Ekarupa Bhagavan. I am not ready for Vishwarupa Bhagavan. Prasida Devesha Jagannivasa. May you be gracious. May you be pleased, as though Lord. Basically, if you see, Lord Krishna was not keen to show Vishwarupa. It was Arjuna who actually asked Krishna for it. But he says, may you be kind enough. Hey Jagannivasa, oh Lord, the supporter of the entire universe. Basically, he wants Krishna to go back to his old nice self. Okay. Continuing. Kiritinam gadinam chakrahastam. Kiritinam gadinam chakrahastam. Ichchami tvam drashtumaham tadaiva. Ichchami tvam drashtumaham tathaiva. Tenaiva rupena chaturbhujena. Tenaiva rupena chaturbhujena. Sahasrabaho bhava vishwamurte. Sahasrabaho bhava vishwamurte. He Sahasrabaho Vishwamurte. Sahasrabaho means 1,000-handed one, right? Vishwamurte, Vishwarupeshwara. He's addressing the Lord. Tenaiva rupena bhava. May you appear to me in the good old Krishna Swarupam, Eka Rupam only. With what? Kiritam, Gada, Chakra, Shankha, right? Basically, Shankha, Chakra, Gada, Hasta. In Vishnu Sahasranamam, we see Vanamali, Gadi, Shanki, Shanki, Chakri, Chanandaki. Shriman Narayano Vishnu Vasudevo Virakshatu. So Vanamali Gadi Shangi, the well-known Vishnu Sahasranama prayer, right? I want you to appear in that form only. Tvam aham drashtum ichchami chaturbhujena, with chaturbhuja hastaha. From this, as Swamiji says, it appears, right, as though that Arjuna actually had the experience of Krishna only with chaturbhuja, because he is asking, I want to see you with 4 hands as before. In short, I want to see Eka Rupa Krishna. Naturally, Lord Krishna does not have choice. Therefore, he says, I certainly will do it, because he satisfies the Bhakta's request, right? Continuing. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Maya prasannena tavarjunedam Maya prasannena tavarjunedam Rupam param darshitam atma yogat Rupam param darshitam atma yogat Tejomayam vishwamanantamadhyam Tejomayam vishwamanantamadhyam Yanme tvadanyena na drishta purvam Yanme tvadanyena na drishta purvam. So Lord Krishna says, it is ironical that between Ekarupa Ishvara and Vishwarupa Ishvara, actually Vishwarupa Ishvara is superior and valuable, right? And I have given that literally free of cost, because he did not have the basic qualification for it, right? But what are you doing? You are rejecting that and you are going for the inferior one. Like Swamiji puts it very nicely. He says, if you ask a baby whether you want a chocolate or a 1,000 rupee note, what happens? The baby says, who wants this paper, right? I only want the chocolate. So the mother cannot trust that 1,000 rupees with the baby, because the baby does not want. With that 1,000 rupees, the baby can buy so many chocolates. The mother knows the value, but the baby does not know the value, right? Now, Vishwarupa Ishvara is the 1,000 rupee note and Ekarupa Ishvara is chocolate. And Arjuna asks for chocolate, and Lord Krishna, the mother, can do what? Only if you want, you can give, right? So at least we should know to choose the right one at some particular age. That is the message that is coming here, right? Therefore, he says, Maya prasannena, because of my prasada, grace for you, param rupam darshitam. I gave you the much superior Ishwarupa darshana. Even though you are immature, I gave it free. Okay, that is the underlying message. Atma yoga, because of my own yoga shakti. Yoga here means Maya shakti. Because of my Maya shakti, I gave you that experience. And what type of Vishwarupa? Tejomayam, the brilliant, the whole creation. It is wonderful, because our ahankara, mamakara is not there. That is why we don't enjoy the wonderful creation around us, right? For instance, in fact, I think the COVID has been a great leveler that way, and I keep thinking about it. I would never have the time to sit and see the birds on the tree, or even observe how many birds are flying, right? We do it only when we are forced into a situation like this, because we are running all the time, right? So similarly, even if you go to a beach, if you see, hardly 1 or 2 people enjoy the ocean and the waves and all of that, right? Somebody is fighting, the other one is busy buying something and in the beach and eating, right? So something or the other they do, but they never enjoy this, right? So even say with the advent of this mobile and cell phone, we take a vacation and we go and spend in such exotic places. But instead of, enjoying that surrounding and the environment, what do? We try and go around searching for that network. I myself have done it. That is why I'm saying we go in search of that network to every nook and corner of that resort or that exotic place, because we want to chase some small thing that is left behind in office, in our profession or something, right? Thinking that the world will come to an end if we do not, stay in touch, right, with the mobile, right? So same thing, right? Understanding priorities at the appropriate time. So with the wonderful Vishwarupam, Tejomayam, the brilliant one, right? Anantam, the infinite, Adyam, the primal one, right? And Vishwarupam, which nobody has got. Yatatvad Anyena na drishtam, which has not been experienced by anyone also, except a few like you. Now Sanjaya is also having Vishwarupam, right? He is going to come back and speak about it. Therefore, Twadanyena, except a few people like you, right? Many have not got that. And you have got it, but unfortunately, you don't want it. Continuing. न वेदयज्ञाध्ययनैर्न दानैः न वेदयज्ञाध्ययनैर्न दानैः न च क्रियाभिर्न तपोभिरुग्रैः न च क्रियाभिर्न तपोभिरुग्रैः एवं रूपः शक्य अहं नृलोके एवं रूपः शक्य अहं नृलोके द्रष्टुं त्वदन्येन कुरु प्रवीर द्रष्टुं त्वदन्येन कुरु प्रवीर. So this extraordinary Vishwarupa Darshanam can be attained by a spiritual seeker, and for this darshanam, what is the most important qualification, the virtue required? Krishna wants to highlight here. So many spiritual sadhanas are talked about, like japa, puja, pilgrimage, right? Building temple, dhanam, right? All of them are spiritual sadhanas. But there is a primary qualification that is required, without which everything else is rendered useless, right? The primary qualification, if it is there, right? Even if the others are deficient, as in the case of Arjuna, right? It is okay. And what is that primary qualification? Lord Krishna wants to highlight in these few shlokas, and that qualification he highlights is bhakti. So bhakti is the primary qualification required for Vishwarupa Ishwara Darshanam. So then the next question is, what type of bhakti you should ask, right? You remember in the 7th chapter, and many times I have spoken about it, inclusive of Introduction to Vedanta, Lord Krishna has talked about 4 types of bhakti, right? Chaturvidha bhajante mam jana sukruti norjuna artho jignyasurartharti jnani cha bharatarshava. 16th verse of chapter 7. Okay, we saw 4 types of bhakti or bhaktas: artha bhakta, artharthi bhakta, jignasu bhakta, and jnani bhakta, right? So of those 4, the primary qualification is what? Jignasu bhakti, right? So he is interested in, basically we saw the differences, right? Artha bhakta is someone who is interested in solving some problem, which is an immediate problem. Artharthi bhakta is also going there, but he's looking at going to God, but he's looking at some successful ventures. So whatever he prays, it's for, like, a business which succeeds, or some family thing which should be good, which is beneficial. So all personal kind of desires, right? So Artharthi Bhakta wants worldly success, and Artha Bhakta wants to solve the immediate problem, right? Then you have Jignasu Bhakta, who is the next stage, right? And he wants to go to the next stage of Vishwarupa Darshanam. Therefore, Lord Krishna highlights Jignasu Bhakti here. And therefore, he says, Veda Yajna Adhyayanaihi, then Danaihi, Kriyabihi, Ugraihi, Tapobihi. The point to be noted is all these are in Tritiya Vibhakti, which means not by any of these, right? Veda, Yajna, Adhyayana, Dana, Kriya, Ugra, Ugraihi and Tapobihi. Ugraihi, Tapobihi. Adjective qualified, right? So if this Jignasu Bhakti is not there, all of these sadhanas will not give you Vishwarupa Darshanam. So what are the other sadhanas that are said here? All of these are mentioned. Veda Parayanam, Veda. Yajna is knowledge of rituals. Adhyayanaihi, by regular recitation of the scriptures, and Danaihi, varieties of charity. Kriyabihi, through varieties of rituals and performances. And Ugraihi Tapobihi. Ugraihi qualifies Tapobihi, fierce austerities. Like many Rakshasas, you know, the way they perform tapas and then Bhagavan comes, right? And finally, they will not ask for Vishwarupa Ishvara Darshanam. They will ask for some boon or the other where, you know, they can be the ruler of the three lokas, or, you know, they can say, they will say, this Bhasmasura story that whomever I touch, that person has to go into ashes, right? That is also a form of bhakti, but we need to know what is the appropriate bhakti required for Vishwarupa Darshanam, that is Jignasu Bhakti, right? So if that is lacking, all religious practices will not take you to that, right? So evam rupaha dashtrum, right? Evam rupaha aham dashtrum na shakyah. So Vishwarupa Darshanam is not possible by mere religious life. I should have a thirst for Vishwarupa Darshanam, and I should ask for the Lord, oh Lord, let my ahankara and mamakara get more and more diluted, right? And remember the very famous Hindi arati that we say, Tan Man Sab Kuch Tera, which really means from the bottom of our heart, we say Tan Man Sab Kuch Tera, right? And we offer it to the Lord, right? So the one who asks for ahankara mamakara dilution has Vishwarupa Jignasu Bhakti. So Arjuna, I gave you Vishwarupa Darshanam because you asked for that. Dashtum Twadanyena. I gave it to you, though several others cannot see it, right? They cannot see. By others, this is not even possible, right? But even then, the unfortunate thing is, though you got it, you don't want to retain it, right? Continuing. Mate vyata macha vimu, sorry. Mate vyata macha vimudha bhavaha. Mate vyata macha vimudha bhavaha. Drishtva rupam gorami dringmamedam. Drishtva rupam gorami dringmamedam. Vyapeta vipritamana punastvam. व्यपेतभिप्रीतमनः पुनस्त्वं तदेव मे रूपमिदं प्रपश्य तदेव मे रूपमिदं प्रपश्य. Right, as I just gave the example, right, even though the mother sees the childishness of the baby who chooses the, you know, the lesser version or the not so important gift, the mother cannot trust what he wants, the baby, whatever the mother wants. She can't trust what she wants. The mother has to give the child what the child is able to accept or ready to accept at that particular point. Similarly, Bhagavan does not want to thrust moksha on people, because when people are interested in so many other things, if Bhagavan gives moksha also, what will we say? After all, moksha is eternal. We can always come to it, right? So let it wait, right? So Bhagavan now says here that you are a spiritual baby. You don't know the value of moksha, then you don't even know the value of Vishwarupa Darshanam. Where is the question of valuing moksha? You want to see me as Mr. Krishna, don't worry, that is Ekarupa Ishvara. I will give you that darshanam. I will change the focus of your vision. So, ma te vyata, don't be emotionally perturbed by this. Vishwarupa macha vimuda bhavaha. May you not be also confused with regard to what you want. Idrin Goram Rupam Drishtva, by experiencing the so-called terrible form of mind, even though Vishwarupa is not really terrible, right? It is wonderful, but Arjuna saw only the terrible aspects of the creation. Therefore, Ghoram Idam Rupam Drishtva Mate Vyataha Vyapeta Bihi. May you get out of this fear of yours. Like, right? Swamiji puts it so nicely that sometimes the father wears a mask, right, to play with the child, a tiger mask, right, or a lion mask. For the baby's enjoyment only he is wearing. But the child starts crying and shrieking, right? So the father, who should be the source of security, becomes the source of fear. So he removes the mask and then the child is happy again and comforted, right? So similarly, Krishna also removes the Vishwarupa, right, as it were, and asks Arjuna, Pritamanaha, may you cool down, calm down, quieten down. Idam me rupam prapashya. May you look at the good old Adharam Madhuram, Vadanam Madhuram, Nayanam Madhuram, Hasitam Madhuram, the beautiful Krishna who is so handsome and nice, right? So that sweet Krishna, may you see as you wish. Sanjay Uvacha, Sanjay Uvacha, Ityarjunam Vasudevastatoktva, Ityarjunam Vasudevastatoktva, Swakam Rupam Darshayamasa Bhuyah, Swakam Rupam Darshayamasa Bhuyah, Ashvasayamasa cha bhitamenam, आश्वासयामास च भीतमेनं भूत्वा पुनः सौम्य वपुर्महात्मा भूत्वा पुनः सौम्य वपुर्महात्मा. So Lord Krishna promised Arjuna that he will show the good old form and he will withdraw the Divya Chakshuhu, right? So basically it's like, you know, in this three-dimensional photo, when you look at the same photo from a different angle, right, it looks very different. So similarly, by symbolically removing the Divya Chakshuhu, Lord Krishna, you can imagine, made him blink once or something like that. The good old form came back, right? We should not imagine that, you know, one Krishna disappeared and another Krishna came and all. It is just a perspective change, which is what is called as Divya Chakshuhu, right? And Arjuna's mind changes and there is silence on the part of Krishna also. Therefore, Sanjaya, the reporting person, comes in and says, Iti Arjunam Vasudeva Tata Uttva. So Krishna addressed Arjuna in this manner and Swakam Rupam Bhuya Darshayamasa. Bhuya, once again, his own Rupam Krishna showed. Darshayamasa, Litlakara, right? Past tense, Ayotis past. So there was a change in the perspective and he withdrew the Divya Chakshuhu and gave the Eka Rupa Krishna Darshanam, right? And even after that, Arjuna's mind continued to be disturbed for some more time. It's like, you know, having a terrible nightmare or seeing a very bad movie, right? And then it continues to haunt you, right? Similarly, Arjuna had the haunting vision of what? Krishna's mouth in which people were entering and they were getting crushed between the molars, etc. We saw that, right? So Krishna is consoling Arjuna. Ashvasayamasa cha bhetam yenam. The frightened Arjuna is actually consoling, right? Punaha saumya vapu mahatma. Mahatma means what? Gora vapu Vishwarupa Ishwara, or the fierce form. He has got back the saumya vapu. Saumya means very nice vapu, nice body. Okay, nice form, right? So we've got Ghora form and we've got Aghora form also, right? And Lord Shiva also has both Aghora and Ghora, right? So in Shivaratri puja and all, we see both Ghora Rupam and Aghora Rupam, right? So here Aghora means Saumya Vapu Krishna became. He once again became the nice Krishna. Arjuna was gradually calming down, right? And then he comes with the following observations. Arjuna Uvacha, Arjuna Uvacha, दृष्ट्वेदं मानुषं रूपं दृष्ट्वेदं मानुषं रूपं तव सौम्यं जनार्दन तव सौम्यं जनार्दन इदानीमस्मि संवृत्तः इदानीमस्मि संवृत्तः सचेता प्रकृतिं गतः सचेता प्रकृतिं गतः. Note the change in the meter, because the 11th chapter is one of those chapters where you get a lot of shlokas in the other meter, and then it now switches back to the normal meter. As I mentioned, the other meter was meant for the dramatic Vishwarupa Darshanam and the following verses before and after. Okay, so Arjuna now has got relieved and he expresses his relief to Lord Krishna. So now only he says, hey Krishna, idam saumyam manusham rupam drishtva, experiencing your beautiful, calm, gentle, smiling human form of yours, right? Now I have become sachetaha prakritim gataha. I have come back to my own original natural person. Sachetaha, I have brought back my own mind, right? Previously also I was confused. I was so confused because I was transported to the other world, right? Now I have come back to this normal self. I am at home and at peace with myself, right? He was not able to withstand Vishwarupa, right? So he has gone back to Ekarupa Ishvara, right? So for him, Ekarupa itself is difficult. So Arupa Ishvara is even more difficult, right? So Arjuna proves himself to be a bhakta, but a very, very immature bhakta. So Krishna feels Arjuna has to go a long way, and he says, don't worry, you can do that, right? So now comes Lord Krishna's observation. Please share the screen. Is the screen not seen? It is seen. Okay. Somebody had talked about the screen. Okay. Once again, Lord Krishna reminds Arjuna that Arjuna, what you have rejected. Oh, we have to. I didn't chant the shloka, right? Shri Bhagavanuvāca Shri Bhagavanuvāca Sudurdarshamidam Rupam Sudurdarshamidam Rupam Drishtavanasi Yanmama Drishtavanasi Yanmama Deva Apyasya Rupasya Deva Apyasya Rupasya Nityam darshana kankshinaha Nityam darshana kankshinaha. So once again, Lord is reminding Arjuna that Arjuna, what you have rejected is something extremely valuable. Like the mother telling the baby, what you have rejected is something much more superior. You don't know the value of the 1,000 rupee note, right? But the child doesn't see it that way. I can only eat chocolate, right? It is tasty. So similarly, like a baby, hey Arjuna, you have rejected something which is far superior from a spiritual angle. Idam Vishwarupam, which you have rejected, is Drishtavan Asi Yanmama, where you had a very rare opportunity to see, because I chose to give you Divya Chakshuhu. And how rare it is, I will tell you. Deva api asya rupasya kankshinaha. Even gods are craving for this Vishwarupa Darshanam, which you had effortlessly got because of my concession. So, right? So, Nityam, they also regularly pray for this and they have not got it at all, right? So, that rareness he explains in the next shloka. Naham Vedirna tapasa Naham Vedirna tapasa Nadanena na chejyaya Nadanena na chejyaya Shakya evam vidho dashtum Shakya evam vidho damshtum Drishtavanasi mam yata Drishtavanasi mam yata. So The same 48th shloka, same thing is repeated here. The primary qualification required is to have a sincere yearning and thirst for appreciating the totality, forgetting one's individuality. So that thirst is primarily referred to as Jignasu Bhakti. And if that thirst is not there, any amount of rituals, pujas, parayanam, right, and making extraordinary pilgrimages, etc., I will never know the, I will just continue to do, but I will not understand the limitation of the Ekarupa Ishvara. I cannot even make a discrimination between Ekarupa Ishvara and Vishwarupa Ishvara. So therefore, I am attached to that form and that particular deity, and I don't know the importance of moving to Vishwarupa Ishvara. And that immaturity is the one that blocks my further growth. So therefore, he says, as long as you are immature, even if you are the greatest bhakta, spending thousands of money, right, in religion, puja, etc., you will not raise further. Therefore, he says exact repetition of earlier one, Vedaha, right, Veda Adhyayanam, earlier also we saw, right, or you can do Upavasa, right, you may do charity, you may do Idhya, Vedic rituals, Yagam is called Idhya, right, and all these are not enough. Internal growth, maturity is required. So you have to understand that Lord Krishna as a Ekarupa Ishvara is limited both in terms of Desha and Kala. He has a date of birth and there will be a date of disappearance also. These limitations I should be able to understand, but generally bhaktas do not understand that, right? But Bhagavan has given us the intellect so that we go through Veda, Vedanta and slowly graduate and understand this, right? So we have to travel from, as Swamiji says, from Manomaya Kosha to Vijnanamaya Kosha. We saw it as part of Pancha Kosha Viveka. We saw it in Pancha Koshas in Introduction to Vedanta also, right? So Lord Krishna says, you continue in your own level. In due course, you will also grow further. Therefore, Shakya evam vido drashtum. Unless a person has got a mature bhakti, where emotion is there, intellect also will come to the picture, and only when that intellect is applied, then that Vishwarupa Darshanam is even or lookable or seeable or experienceable, and which you have had with just a simple asking, right? Continuing. Bhaktya tvananyaya shakyah, bhaktya tvananyaya shakyah, ahamevam vidhorjuna, ahamevam vidhorjuna, jnatum drashtum cha tatvena, jnatum drashtum cha tatvena, praveshtum cha parantapa, Praveshtum cha parantapa. So all the pujas and prayers and rituals can keep a person within Artha Bhakti or Artharthi Bhakti. You can just continue to remain there for the entire life. Refusing to use the discriminative intellect to grow further, right, is a crime in itself, because only the human being is blessed with intellect, right? So Bhakti, Bhagavan himself, actually with Bhakti, Bhagavan will slowly make the buddhi more and more discriminative, right? Bhagavan himself will raise us to the next level. Then with the intellect, we understand, right? That we understand God as Anantaha and Nityaha, right? And we know that a finite deity cannot be Anantaha and Nityaha, right? And therefore, all forms of God are Maya Mayam Rupam. They are all Mayika form only, belonging to Apara Prakriti, right? They are all Maya, they are not the real God, right? So basically we start in Hinduism with it's a beautiful journey. We start with emotional bhakti, right? Then we gather the knowledge as to what is Artha, Artharthi, Jignasu, etc., right? And then slowly we move on, right? So any God with any form, however beautiful it may be, is not ultimately the real God. Even to understand this, a lot of maturity is required. Therefore, Lord Krishna says, Ananyaya Bhaktya, right? By that, Jignasu Bhakti is born, and it is born out of discrimination. When a person wants to go beyond emotional bhakti, then alone evam vidaha aham. A person will understand Bhagavan cannot be a finite person who is perishable. Bhagavan has to be infinite, and the infinite Bhagavan cannot have a particular form, right? And he cannot be located in time or space, right? So, Jnatum drashtum praveshtum cha shakyaha. At some point in time, you will have the knowledge, right? And you will experience, you would want to see the Vishwarupa Ishvara, and you will experience the Vishwarupa, and you won't feel like standing in 7 hours, 8 hours queue to see the God, or go trekking to Kailasha, etc. But you will actually start appreciating Bhagavan all around you. Hence, Dashtum Shakyaha, finally, Praveshtum, from Vishwarupa Bhakti, finally, one has to go to the final Bhakti called Jnani Bhakti or Advaita Bhakti, in which Bhagavan and Bhakta will fuse into one. So, Jnani tu Atmaiva me matam. All these things will ultimately happen. Start with the emotional Bhakti, and gradually you can enter all the stages. Now, Lord Krishna concludes, right? Matkarma krin matparamaha, matkarma krin matparamaha, madbhakta sanga varjitaha, madbhakta sanga varjitaha, nirvairas sarva bhuteshu, nirvairas sarva bhuteshu, yasamameti pandava, yasamameti pandava. So, how can I grow from emotional bhakti, right? Ekarupa bhakti to Advaita bhakti. There should have been 5 stars on this shloka. Very, very important shloka, right? So, one of the most important verses in the entire Gita. This is a 5-point program given by Lord Krishna. First one is Mad Bhaktaha Bhava. Start with emotional bhakti, faith in a particular form of God. Read more and more stories about the God, right? And may your bhakti in a particular devata increase. Then you have your duties. You continue to do that, solve worldly problems, etc. So hence Artha Arthi Bhakti you start with. That is point number 1. 2 is Mat Karma Krita. This is the second point. Dedicate all your actions, both worldly as well as sacred actions, may you offer to me, and take all the consequences, favorable or unfavorable, as Ishvara Prasada. Karma Yoga Bhavana. Right? So Mat Karma Krita means be a Karma Yogi, and once you practice this, gradually you will be able to distinguish between the 1,000 rupee note and the chocolate, right? Bhagavan alone is the greatest goal, of highest goal, and in front of Bhagavan all other accomplishments, they fade away and they are finite, fleeting, perishable, right? So thus the worldly goals will start appearing like balloons which will just get deflated in half a second, right? So Bhagavan will become the real goal. The third step is Sangha Varjitaha. Attachment to the worldly things will gradually come down. Painlessly it will start coming down. It is not a forced detachment or a suppression. Gradually I should grow out of it. Exactly like how the children grow out of toys and balloons, we have to grow out of that Ekarupa Bhakti and the attachment towards objects, towards Pancha Anatma, that is body, mind, family, possessions and profession, right? And start seeing, right, Nitya Anitya Vastu Vivekaha, the difference between the eternal and the perishable, right? And we saw it in Introduction to Vedanta also. And then you gradually become a mumukshu. Gradually the value for God as whole will increase, and emotional dependence on other things will start coming down. So FIR reduction and CCC increase, basically in our parlance, right? So therefore Mat Paramaha is the fourth stage. Mat Paramaha means God becomes primary goal, right? So I spend the infinite for buying the finite, and Jignasu Bhakti is through the world I want to attain God, right? We don't spend, see, we spend all on all these religious things, rites, etc. for achieving the finite, right? But here through Jignasu Bhakti, we want to attain God. That is the fourth stage. The fifth stage is Nirvairaha Sarva Bhuteshu. Gradually, may you develop divine virtues. We are going to see extensively how to develop Daivi Sampat, etc. later on in the different chapters that are going to come up in the final 6 chapters, right? So we will see enough, and also how to build up Sadhana Chatushtaya Sampatti, etc., which we saw in Introduction to Vedanta. Therefore, Nirvairaha Sarva Bhuteshu. Vairam means enmity or hatred. May you dilute that, right? It will not go immediately. Gradually, it has to start going down, right? Very, very difficult. But Yaha, whoever follows these fivefold disciplines, Sahamam Yeti Pandava. Hey Arjuna, that person will attain me, attain moksha. The very important point here is that there are different interpretations of attaining me, right? Now, attaining me, capital M, that is the eternal Brahman, or there is another interpretation which is the Vishwarupa Ishvara, right? So if it is Ishvara, then we have care of chapter 8, then Krama Mukti, people will go to Brahma Loka and then go through the Jnana Yoga there and then attain the same Brahman. Otherwise, directly here through Jivan Mukti now and then Sadhyo Mukti, you actually attain Brahman. So with this chapter is over. So what I'm going to do is we'll complete this and I'll give a very quick summary because I think we don't need a very long summary of this, right? So let's complete this. Om Tat Sat, Om Tat Sat, Iti Srimad Bhagavad Gitasu, Iti Srimad Bhagavad Gitasu, Upanishadsu, Brahma Vidyayam, Yoga Shastre, Shri Krishna Arjuna Samvade, Vishwarupa Darshana Yogo, Nama Ekadashodhyayah. Nama Ekadashodhyayah. Let's do a quick summary. So, we saw the entire Vishwarupa Darshanam in this chapter. So, in the first 4 verses, we actually saw Arjuna, right, summarizing the entire teaching of Krishna, the nature of Jiva, right, predominantly discussed in the first 6 chapters, and the nature of God, predominantly discussed in the later 4 chapters. And though Arjuna has received this teaching, he is unable to appreciate the universal form due to some mental blocks. Hence, he prays to the Lord for the vision of the universal form of the Lord. That is in verse 3 and 4 we saw. 1 to 4 we saw this part. Then Lord Krishna agrees to bless Arjuna with the vision of the universal form. Verses 5 to 7 we saw that. 5 to 8. Since it is not possible to have such a vision with the ordinary eyes, Krishna grants Arjuna the divine eye for this special purpose. Because he has Ahankara and Mamakara, Lord Krishna had to give the Divya Chakshuhu, right? And basically, Lord does not have to give us a Divya Chakshuhu. We can just see Lord in the universe. But that is the difficult part, right? So because Ahankara and Mamakara dilution is a prerequisite for that, right? Then from 9th to 14th verses, we get the description of the universal form from Sanjaya. You remember that Sanjaya came after a long time and spoke here. He picturizes the Lord as a person with all divine ornaments, shining with the brilliance of 1,000 suns, risen together, Yugapat, right? We saw that. We should remember that. This is basically just a description of the world divinized by the change of our outlook, or here Sanjaya's and here Arjuna's outlook. So every exalted object in the creation should be taken as an ornament of the Lord, right? Then from the 15th verse, we get Arjuna's appreciation of the universal form. So Arjuna went through various phases as he sees the universal form. The first response was Vismayaha or wonderment. And Arjuna sees all the beings in the cosmic body of the Lord. The sun, the moon are like his eyes. He sees the hands, legs, etc. of the people as those of the Lord. And he also sees the body with thousands of hands. He sees the Lord's body with thousands of hands, legs, etc. Right? And he says, without beginning, without middle, without end, etc. 15 to 22. Then Arjuna's attention turned towards the mouth of the Lord, which represents Kala Tattvam, and with blazing fire and protruding teeth, the Lord's mouth evoked terror in all, including Arjuna. And Arjuna sees the entire world, right, basically rushing into the mouth and getting crushed, right, between the teeth. Now all these cause great fear and confusion in Arjuna, and he begins to doubt whether the Lord is a loving father or a terrible destroyer, right? He starts wondering. We saw that in 23 to 30. This shows that Arjuna is still not able to see the Lord as a whole. He's able to accept birth as part of the universe, but not death. So this partial outlook is the cause for fear and confusion. So this is the second phase, right? And then the Lord clarifies that the fierce aspect also is himself only, manifesting as the time principle. And when the time comes for people to die, the Lord finds the instruments to bring this about. And Arjuna happens to be one of them in the hands of the Lord. We saw that from verse 32 to 34, right? So having understood the Lord to be the cosmic stage manager, right? Karma Phala Adhyaksha, basically, right? So Karma Adhyaksha. So Arjuna surrenders to his will and sings his glory from verses 35 to 45, right? And we saw the very famous portion here called Rakshognaha Shlokaha. Please continue to chant these verses. They are very, very useful, very nice prayers, right? Especially in this kind of situation and environment. Now Arjuna appreciates the Lord as the totality, the basis of creation, preservation, dissolution, Shrishti, Sthiti, Laya, Karanam. And in front of the Lord, everything else is insignificant. So this appreciation actually makes him a devotee. So he actually falls at his feet, seeking forgiveness for all his past omissions and commissions. So thus the third phase is true devotion to the Lord, born out of the right understanding, right? And Arjuna is indeed very happy to have this unique vision of the Lord, and still one part of his mind is not able to accept the totality, especially the destructive aspect. So Arjuna is requesting the Lord to withdraw this form, right? So in the last 9 verses that we saw today, we saw the Lord withdrawing his universal form. That is, the Lord takes away the divine eye, the Divya Chakshuhu that Arjuna enjoyed till now. And Arjuna comes down to look at the world in his own private, usual way, right? And the Lord is actually praising the devotion, bhakti, as a means to the cosmic vision, right? So that gradually the bhakti will cause ahankara, mamakara, dilution. And this universal form or Vishwarupa Ishwara could be seen by Arjuna because of his devotion. And through devotion, one can purify the mind, and that we call Chitta Shuddhi, and then see the universal form and understand the true nature of the Lord and become one with the Lord. So Krishna tells Arjuna, do actions for my sake, be my devotee, right? In the last verse we saw, keep me as the ultimate goal, right? Be detached, right, from the world, be free from hatred towards all, and such a person, in fact, reaches me, right? So that is what was the 11th chapter all about, right? And from the next class onwards, we will start the 12th chapter. So we will complete with Purnamidam Shokam, and then we will the Shanti Mantra, and then we will take questions. Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. From next class onwards, we will start at 8:25 only. Any questions? Yeah, I see some hands raised here. Is there any specific difference between the 48th and the 53rd shloka? No, nothing specific. In fact, I also looked up today, right? So please repeat 4 types of bhaktis. First type is Artha Bhakti. Second type is Artharthi Bhakti. Third type is Jignasu Bhakti. And fourth is Jnani Bhakti. There is a gradation. You start out Artha Bhakti is, I covered this in length in an earlier chapter, so it might be worthwhile for you to go through this. Artha Bhakti is a bhakti in which when you have problem, you go to the Lord. Typically what we all start off, right? Saying, oh my God, my daughter has to get admission, my son has to get admission, I am in trouble, this, that, right? Please save me. Or it's more like Artha Bhakti is more like, I'm in trouble, please save me. Whereas Artharthi Bhakti is, here is a deal with you. You do this for me, I do this for you. If I am successful in my venture, I will give you something in return, right? So that is Artharthi Bhakti. Both of them are basically selfish Bhakti or for one's own self, right? Jignasu Bhakti is a Bhakti in which the Bhakta, the devotee, is seeking Jnanam, wants to understand the true nature of Bhagavan and understands Vishwarupa Ishvara. A Jnani Bhakti is one who is liberated while living, right? Who is a Jivan Mukta and who is still a God, devotee of the Lord, because he is grateful for the knowledge and the fact that he is a Jivan Mukta. So entire life he continues as a Bhakta of the Lord, and such a Bhakta is referred to as Jnani Bhakta. Anybody else? You can raise your hand also if you want to speak up. Yeah, please go ahead, Subramaniam Shivaswamy. You're, I think, self-muted. You have to unmute yourself. Subramaniam Shivaswamy. Okay, maybe that was a mistake. Okay, there's nobody else who has raised their hand. Okay. Okay, there is another question. Arjuna should have done Purva Janma Punyam to have this darshan. Yes, and also you must remember that what is emphasized here in these verses is that the bhakti. He definitely had great bhakti devotion towards the Lord, and that was the reason why when he surrendered to the Lord, not only bhakti as Lord but also bhakti as Guru, both, right? Then Krishna has blessed him with Divya Chakshu, right? Which is also a temporary vision only. Anybody else wants to ask a question here? Yeah, Subramaniam, are you there? No, I think he's by mistake, he must have pressed it. Okay. So perception along with maturity matters a lot, yes. And with bhakti, and what the scriptures say is, you start out as an Artha Bhakti and an Artharthi Bhakti. Gradually, you will develop what we refer to as Chitta Shuddhi or mental refinement, which will give you the required maturity and you will progress. And then the perspective itself shifts towards how you look at the world, how you look at even relationships, right? What is the expectation from relationships and you know, and the results, all of them, everything changes. You're right. Perception along with maturity. Anything else? Okay, I think there are no more questions also. So next week, same time we will meet and we will start with the 12th chapter. So the time is 8:25. Okay, from next class onwards. Hari Om.